So it takes a lot for me to focus on the refs after a sporting event because so many different plays, so many different possessions, so many different factors go into a win or a loss. But the focus on the end of regulation in the WNBA Finals is kind of correct because the Minnesota Lynx did get robbed. I don't say that lightly, but a play that important and that significant in the outcome being that suspect is going to be talked about and is going to stick. So Breanna Stewart, gets the ball. Looks like she might have traveled, or certainly looks like she traveled. The benefit of the doubt I'll give is perhaps the ball was hit so that she didn't have possession on the first couple steps. Then she goes up, and there's a bit of a phantom foul. Looked like ball and marginal contact, as Lynx coach Cheryl Reeve called it. And she goes to the free throw line, ties the game. And the reason that's so significant is she doesn't get that foul call there. The Lynx are winning the championship. They're the ones with the trophy. And you can look at all the other things they should have capitalized on. Sabrina Ionescu being 1 of 19 from the floor, Stewie having another stinker, sure. But they had the title in their grasp. And as Cheryl Reeve put it was stolen from them. And that might be a little strong, but it also ain't completely wrong. I mean, that is going to, she stole the headlines from the New York Liberty. Let's put it that way. Because normally everything would be about the Liberty and celebrating the championship. And instead today, there's controversy because the Lynx head coach came out and said what she felt and what a lot of fans felt watching Game 5 of the WNBA Finals. Here's some of what transpired after the game. Like I mentioned, I was there in the locker room or in the press room. That is, let's look at the play first. Here's the travel aspect of it. So you can see this is slowed down here. You can see the pitter-pat steps from Stewie there. So I'm going to, again, maybe give the benefit of the doubt that the ball was hit there, so she didn't have it. And from the referee's vantage point, that's part one. Then there's the even more significant part, obviously, which is the foul call in question, part two, where Stewie goes up for the shot, and it looks like Smith gets ball and some incidental contact here. Look, I mean, that is tough. To decide the championship, that is tough. So, I mean, if I was a Lynx fan, I'd be absolutely devastated. And I think you have non-Lynx fans devastated. Look, I traveled to Minnesota in the event the Liberty were going to win. My daughter has a New York Liberty jersey now. I've been to games. I love the vibe in Brooklyn. I would love to be celebrating the Liberty. And they are a great team. And they are the champions that will last in the record book. But there was a sort of I would love to be bumping Empire State of Mind. Yeah, I'm out that Brooklyn. Yeah, I mean, come on. That all would be amazing. It would. But there is a bitterness to it. There is a bitterness to it, and it can't really be avoided in the conversation. Cheryl Reeve, after the game, talked about the final call. This was the video I took. Here's what she said.
There's going to be a team that's going to be a little more disappointed than the other. I thought today was incredibly disappointing. The challenge, we have got to change our challenge rules, and the officials doing the game should have a third party, because that was not a foul. That call should have been reversed on that challenge. If we sent that clip in, well, first of all, Nafisa Collier, number of times that she's held, et cetera, and there's nothing on that in, right? Which we, that's kind of, for whatever reason in the series, that was kind of the way it was. But when at the other end, when we challenged it, if we would have turned that clip in, they would have told us that it was marginal contact, no foul. Guaranteed. So when you review, those should be the same parameters that you're reviewing with. But the three people that are on the game need a third party to let them know, because I decided the game.
So Cheryl Reeve didn't mince words there. I thought that was it. I thought that was going to be her comment on the situation, but then she circled back toward the end of the presser to add this bit, which is going to live in history probably.
Reeve cries foul. And I know all the headlines will be Reeve cries foul. Bring it on, right? Bring it on. because this shit was stolen from us. Bring it on.
This shit was stolen from us. That's about as strong a comment as I've ever heard from a head coach in a situation like that about deciding a championship. Sandy Brondello and the Liberty players came in shortly thereafter that. This is what Sandy had to say in response to Cheryl.
This championship had been stolen from them because of the officiating. I'm just wondering if you had any thoughts on the reffing today.
I thought they were pretty fair. I mean, after the last game, that's what you got to give and take. Like, game number one, we should have won that game. Close it out. But look, I have so much respect for Cheryl, and I have so much respect for that Minnesota Lynx team because, man, that was ugly, but we found a way to win. And so I'm really proud of our team, how resilient we were, how we stuck together, how we continued to trust each other. That was our word today, just trust the process. And we found a way to win. And going back to Stewie, she did miss 2 free throws, which is rare for her. But in that 5 seconds ago, she said, I'm going to make them. And I'm like, okay, good. I was praying, but it worked.
So I believe the free throw disparity in Game 5 was 25-8, which is pretty heavy in favor of the Liberty. Now, credit to Coach Brondello, because what she said after Game 4 clearly had an effect. She complained about the officiating after Game 4, and you heard her just there say it evened out. So basically, she's saying, we got cost in Game 4, they got cost in Game 5, those are the breaks. It's just a shame that such a great series is going to be marred in a sense by that. That's the shame of it, because it is going to be a talking point, and it should be a talking point. It was significant. I mean, it did decide the game. That's just the truth of the matter. I guess it's appropriate because this WNBA season has been all these positive stories, ratings records, attendance records. But then there's always been some controversy or drama around it when that should all be positive. But obviously, Caitlin Clark and all the discussion around her. So it's only appropriate that this WNBA Finals, which was more watched than in the past as a result of what I just talked about, would have the same sort of discourse where on one hand, it's amazing. It was a great series. It was back and forth. Terrific performance from Nafisa Collier, who was clearly emotionally upset on the podium after the game. But she played her heart out. She was terrific. She was the best player on the floor. The Sabrina shot in Game 3, these incredible moments, and then a dash of controversy.